the opportunity to meet a descendant of our first inductee, Rose Fortune, before the gala and was incredibly inspired by her story. Rose added to Nova Scotia's history and was very involved in her community. To help introduce our first laureate, please welcome to the stage the Mayor of Annapolis Royal, Rose's hometown, Mayor Anne-Marie Boyer and Dr. Kesa Monroe Anderson, Associate Professor, School of Education at Acadia University.
As the Mayor of Annapolis Royal, it is my honor and privilege to introduce tonight's first laureate inductee, Rose Fortune. Valaji, greetings from Oquatitek, Le Vieux Port-Royal, and Annapolis Royal. Rose was born in about 1774 in Philadelphia, likely the only child of parents Fortune and Wife, whose names appear in the muster roll taken at Annapolis Royal in June of 1783. Rose was a successful and prominent businesswoman and valued member of the community a full century before civil rights and feminist movements. Her perseverance, her courage, and resilience comes from her lived experiences as she overcame economic marginalization and racism. By 1830, Rose was operating as a luggage carrier, using a wheelbarrow. She made pickups and deliveries between the town's busy wharves and hotels, and imposed and enforced curfews at the wharves and surrounding areas. In 1852, Lieutenant Colonel Slay of the 77th Regiment wrote of a chance encounter with Rose. She was evidently a privileged character. She was known to protect her business vigorously and became an unofficial policewoman known for her ability in keeping the more unruly youngsters in order. To this day, our little town, Annapolis Royal, a town of 530 plus inhabitants, 2 square kilometers, that's all, continues to police itself.
Rose demonstrated an outstanding and unparalleled level of success and continues to be an inspiring model for Canadians. After her death in 1864, the business was transformed by Albert Lewis, Rose's granddaughter's husband, into a coach and wagon operation that transported passengers and freight to the wharves and train station. Albert's grandson, James Lewis, bought the firm's first truck, and the company became James Lewis and Son, and continued as a Black-owned business until his death in 1960. Rose was named a National Historic Person in 2018, which was also the year that Parks Canada erected a plaque in her honor on the Annapolis Royal waterfront.
Thank you very much, everyone. I'd like to thank the Nova Scotia Business Hall of Fame for introducing the business world to my great-great-grandmother, Rose Fortune. A special thank you to Kesa Monroe Anderson for taking the time and investing in this story, because it is the dream of the entrepreneurs to take something or nothing at all and make something extraordinary out of it. Today is a special day for us and our family, not just because of the induction of Rose, but I'm here with my aunt, who is 90 years old, to experience this moment with me. Rose died a very long time ago, so my only information about Rose came from my Aunt Audrey. And I specifically remember her telling me one time that her mother was embarrassed of her grandmother. She was embarrassed of her because of the way she appeared, because she always wore clothes that looked like they didn't fit. She wore clothes that were old and baggy, probably hand-me-downs, whatever she could afford. But as we know, you can't judge a book by its cover. As you just previously heard, the commentary from Lieutenant Colonel Slay of the 77th Regiment. He was actually getting ready to move out of a hotel in Annapolis Royal. And he came upon Rose Fortune, and he talked about her, mostly about her tenacity. So he says, I was aided in my hasty efforts to quit the abominable inn by a curious old Negro woman, rather stunted in growth and dressed in a man's coat and felt hat. She had a small stick in her hand, which she applied lustily to the backs of those who did not instantly jump out of her way. Poor old dame, she was evidently a privileged character. I don't think she felt like she was a privileged character. I think she felt like Minister Corkum said, get the hell out of my way, I got work to do. I expect that Rose, until the day she died, always saw a task that she needed to take on and did it very well. Again, I want to thank you for this wonderful tribute and recognition of Rose Fortune.